Hello, and welcome back to another installment of Academic Dream Life. So Academic Dream Life is a series that I've done where I share a little bit about my academic lifestyle and as well as how I'm balancing running a business as well as being a full-time academic, because that sounds like a lot and it sounds like it could be super overwhelming. But I've told myself that in order to be able to keep up with my academic responsibilities and succeed in academia like I've done, I need to figure out a container. Like, how can I run my business on minimal time? And I've gotten it down to a science. I know how to run my business on 5 hours a week. Literally 5 hours is all I need. And typically work on it on non-teaching days and on the weekends. And so if you've been thinking about starting a business, or even if you already have one but you find yourself neglecting it, this is definitely the series for you. And so I want to talk about why now is actually the right time for you to start a business, and not just any business, a semester-proof business, right? A semester-proof business is one that doesn't depend on how busy your semester is, right? If your semester gets super busy and you end up neglecting your business, your semester-proof business will keep running and it'll be there waiting for you, and it'll be there making money for you until you're ready to devote attention in it again. And so I know what you're thinking. I don't have time for this. I don't have time now. I have papers to write. I have classes to teach. I got all of this stuff going on. And I'm here to tell you that actually now may be the right time to actually get started. So if you have an idea for a digital business, or you've always thought that you wanted to create something to help others and you're not quite sure how to do it, I highly recommend checking out my free resource, Plan Your Semester-Proof Business in a Weekend. So in a weekend, you can get some inspiration, figure out how to get started on this academic entrepreneurship journey. And if you're someone who has already started a business, but you found that, okay, I'm not making any sales, I don't really know what I'm doing, it's kind of like a hobby for me, but I really want it to be a business, and I'm just like so overwhelmed with the semester, and I just need to know the steps. If you already have your business formed, then I also offer business consulting for academic entrepreneurs. I have a program called Simplify with Systems, and it's a done-for-you service where I actually tell you what you work on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. And I create the 5-hour work week for you, and I create your business dashboard so you know what your business is all about, what projects to work on, and when to do all the things. And so if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link for you to sign up for a next step call with me if you're interested in something like that. But yeah, we were talking about time and how academics don't have a lot of time and don't have a lot of energy for a business. But I have maybe a different perspective. I never let time constrain the quality of my life or the experiences that I want to have in my life. Being busy and feeling like I don't have enough time is just like not in my vocabulary. I always like to think, okay, what can I create and what can I do in the time that I do have, right? I know it's minimal because I have a full-time job as an academic, but in this little bit amount of time, what can I do? What can I get started? What can I make progress on? And so I want you to think about that this weekend. Like, what's a little bit of time that you have? Do you have a couple hours a week? Do you have 5 hours a week? And what can you start working on in that 2 to 5 hours a week that will give you progress and help you make progress on your goals? Whether that's starting a business, running a business, operating a business, or just having a fulfilling life outside of academia. And so as an example on how I do this, I want to talk about a launch that I'm actually running right now. I'm in the middle of it right now, but every semester in my Business the Academic Society, I host a Back to Grad School challenge. And this is a 5-day challenge for graduate students to help them prepare for a new semester of grad school. And then at the end of the week, they'll have a productive weekly schedule that they can follow every single week. And this schedule is flexible and also includes me time. And I've run this challenge maybe 8 times at this point. I started in 2017 and I do it twice a year. So I've done it a lot. I rinse and repeat. And so again, the theme of this video is why now is the right time to start your semester-proof business. It's because you have an idea. You have something inside of you that you want to get out, but you're holding on to it. You're afraid. You're nervous of putting yourself out there in the world, that it's going to be bad, that it's not going to be good. Well, I'm here to tell you that whatever you create now is not going to look like, it's not going to look the same next month, next year, or even 5 years from now, right? You are going to iterate and make it better and better and better, but you won't figure out how to make it better if it just stays inside of you. You need feedback. You need actual customers. So let me tell you the story of my Back to Grad School challenge. I knew that I wanted to get people on my email list because all the business people were saying, you got to have an email list. You need people on your email list so that when you have something to sell, you have this group of people waiting to hear from you, and it's not bound by the constraints of a social media algorithm. And I do agree with that. But I didn't really know what I was doing. I heard that challenges were a good way to do it, so I created a challenge. I created my Back to Grad School Challenge 5-day event, and I think maybe 9 people signed up for the first one. And at the end of the challenge, the goal is to launch something, present the people who participated with an offer, something that I'm selling in exchange for money. And let me tell you, I was not confident about it at all. I think the first thing I tried to sell on the back of the Back to Grad School Challenge is my grad school toolkit, which is my Trello boards. A lot of you probably already have it because I chickened out. Because it didn't sell the first time I did my Back to Grad School Challenge, I was like, well, let me just give it away for free. Maybe it's not worth it. And guess what? Eventually, well, once I did give it away for free, people still didn't want it until I got myself out there even more and kept talking about it. But now it's one of my top freebies, and I wish that I would have stuck with it and actually sold it for the low price of $9 that it was. But I say this to tell you that it's going to be rough. It's going to be rocky at the beginning, and you will keep iterating and keep trying new things until you find something that works. So I knew my Back to Grad School Challenge worked. Students were always engaged. I got more and more students every time. I think the biggest Back to Grad School Challenge had 150 or was it 200 something students participating. That's a lot. And every semester I tried to sell something on the back end of the Back to Grad School Challenge, and it just never worked because I didn't understand selling. But that comes with practice, and eventually it started to work, and I found the right offer that my audience actually wanted. So I tried to sell the grad school toolkit, I tried to sell my book, I tried to sell other things on the back end, and it just wasn't quite the right fit for my audience who was participating, and I wasn't really talking about these things in the right way. But then I invested in a business coach. You've probably heard of James Wedmore. He is amazing. I'm in his Business by Design Next Level program, and he gave me the formula for running a challenge and the messaging behind the words that I was saying to my audience that made my offer juicy. I think the biggest mistake that I was making was that I had my challenge going, and on the last day of the challenge, I would surprise them and say, all right, you guys, I'm selling something. Of course they were thrown off. Of course they were not going to buy. Instead, what James recommends is build the hype. Tell people that you're going to be offering them something at the end so they can start thinking about it, start considering it if it's going to be a right fit for them. So as soon as people sign up for the challenge, I hit them with a video to tell them the purpose of the challenge and to share that I have an opportunity for extra support at the end of the challenge. Every single day I talked about the program that I would be offering and how it's related to the challenge, so that by the time I introduced the offer to them, they were like, yeah, finally, tell us, we want to get in, right? And so last fall was the first time I implemented this new change in the Back to Grad School Challenge, and I had more people than ever purchase my program Focus, and I was like, wow, this really worked. And It only worked because I kept iterating. I kept making my challenge experience better and better, and I kept learning more and more. And so what if I had decided to not even launch or not do anything until I knew it was going to work? Right? It would be years and it still wouldn't work, right? So you might as well start now. And people probably would think I'm insane for doing this, but the Back to Grad School Challenge always coincides with the first week of classes for me. My semester always starts so early. So I'm juggling everything that needs to happen in the first week of classes and the Back to Grad School Challenge. And let me tell you, the Back to Grad School Challenge is a breeze. Why? Because I have it on a system now. I have automations and workflows. I do the exact same thing every single Back to Grad School Challenge, and this is like the 8th time I've done it. I have all of the emails. I literally just copy and paste and change the dates. I talk about the same things in my lives, and it's new for the new students who go through it, and it's a nice refresher for the students who've gone through it over and over. People do my challenge over and over and over again. And that's what creating a semester-proof business is when you create something once, create it with the intention that you're going to use it over and over and over again, and creating less and less work for you in the future. I do less work in my business now than I did at the beginning. However, I'm making way more money now than I could have ever imagined making in the beginning. Like, it's insane. Like, I didn't make any money in the first 2 years of my business. I know. And now I've created a business that brings in over $100,000 in revenue, and I work only 5 hours per week on my business. And I don't want it to take you 2 years to actually make money in your business, which is why I've created this series, and this is why I've created my consultancy, because I want to help other academics who are interested in this, who are interested in their own business and making an impact outside of their own department or outside of their own school, increasing their income, specifically passive income, so you don't have to work as hard to make more money. And so, like I mentioned, if you're just getting started, definitely check out my free resource, Plan Your Semester-Proof Business in a Weekend. If you're already started, definitely check out my consulting package, Simplify with System. I'll put a link for the next step call in the description of this video. All right, so like I mentioned, I always say there's an action step at the end of each Academic Dream Life video. Okay, so my action step for you is, what is the thing that you're going to do this week to help you start your or grow your semester-proof business? What is one thing you're going to do? And that one thing that you're going to do can be download my free resource. That one thing can be schedule a next step call with me. That one thing can be post something on the internet about what you're going to be doing. That one thing can be start creating your digital product. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks for chatting with me. I can't wait to see you in the next one and talk about some more awesome academic entrepreneurial things. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.